Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, July 22nd, 2019. Looking at the fire potential impacts over the next few days, today we are looking at some mostly dry thunderstorms with the best coverage across western Nevada and into southwestern Idaho, and we will see some of these storms continue overnight into Tuesday morning. On Tuesday, moisture makes a much stronger surge northward, and you can see that a pretty significant portion of the Great Basin will be impacted by some mostly dry thunderstorms. Further north into the central Idaho mountains, we will be looking at some wet and dry thunderstorms. And then moving into Wednesday, we will keep that thunderstorm potential in place across about the southern half of the Great Basin, but with moisture increasing, these storms will be trending wetter. As with thunderstorms, typically any of these storms will have some gusty and erratic winds in the vicinity. Over the past 24 hours, there was not much in the way of precipitation across the Great Basin. However, there was quite a bit of lightning across western Nevada and also across the Uinta Mountains of Utah. Fire activity has increased across the Great Basin, and you can see some new fire starts across western Nevada, which are possibly from the lightning that was observed there yesterday. ERCs are very high across the central and southern part of the Great Basin. You can see generally above the 80th percentile down south, and that's just really due to the delayed monsoonal moisture across the area. Continuing to look at those ERCs, you can see GB14 in northwestern Nevada is approaching normal, still a little bit below normal. This is the area where we're expecting to see the most lightning today. Further south across the Great Basin, however, you can see that those ERCs are approaching record levels for this time of year. Looking at live fuel moisture across the area, sagebrush moisture continues to be at or above normal, and so we have heard reports that sagebrush is slowing fire a bit, but it is getting down to those critically dry levels, and so even though sagebrush moisture is above normal, it's finally getting to the point where it is available to burn. Looking at 10-hour fuel moisture, those fine fuels are very dry across the Great Basin and really extremely dry across the far south where it's been very dry across the area. The satellite this morning shows high pressure in place over the Four Corners region, and that's kind of the classic setup for monsoonal moisture moving into the Great Basin. Looking at today in more detail, there is some moisture in place across the Great Basin. Across western Nevada and southwestern Idaho, we are highlighting the potential for dry lightning. You can see that on our significant fire potential map on the right. Looking at today's weather in more detail, again, the map on the right is showing the areas that we are looking at the potential for those showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. And there is concern with those thunderstorms that they will be moving rather quickly and could have not a lot of precipitation associated with them. If you look at relative humidity forecast for this afternoon on the left, you can see some pretty dry relative humidities in the forecast. On Tuesday, there's a pretty significant increase in moisture across the Great Basin. You can see that from that general weather pattern map on the left. And looking at our image on the right, you can see a pretty large portion of the area highlighted for lightning potential on Tuesday. Looking at this map in more detail, you can see there is an increase in relative humidity tomorrow afternoon with that increase in moisture. However, we are still quite concerned with the potential for lightning after a very dry period. You can see from the image on the right, we are looking at showers and thunderstorms across much of the area tomorrow. Moving into Wednesday, that moisture retreats a little bit further south. You can see some drier air pushing into the northern part of the Great Basin. Looking at our significant fire potential map, we are not highlighting any areas for showers and thunderstorms. As you can see from that weather map, again, we are expecting showers and thunderstorms to develop across much of the area, including a large portion of Nevada, Utah, and the Arizona Strip. However, with the increase in moisture, it's looking like the majority of these storms will be wet. However, on the upper northern periphery of these storms, there could be some dry thunderstorms that may cause some problems. You can see from the relative humidity map on the left, pretty high relative humidities tomorrow afternoon across the south, but trending drier as you move north into the Great Basin. So it's kind of on that boundary line between the higher relative humidities down south, lower relative humidities up north. We could see the potential for some of those drier thunderstorms on Wednesday. So over the next 3 days, looking at the precipitation accumulation, you can see we are expecting precipitation across much of the area. Not too impressive looking on the map, kind of hinting at the fact that the initial push of these thunderstorms could be pretty dry. Moving into Thursday, we keep the moisture in place across the southern part of the Great Basin, drier across the north, and you can see on our fire potential map on the right some of those southern areas that have gone into that green category. Again, we will look at another day of storm activity across the southern part of the Great Basin on Thursday, but with the moisture in place, the majority of these storms are expected to be wet. Moving into Friday, it looks like moisture makes another push northwards, and so if this continues to be the forecast weather pattern for Friday, we could again see a return of those showers and thunderstorms to northern Nevada, southern Idaho, and northern Utah on Friday. So in the 4 to 5 day period, this covers Thursday and Friday, you can see a pretty significant increase in precipitation expected across the area. So storms trending much wetter Thursday and Friday across the area. Moving into Saturday, drying is a little bit of drying is expected across the area. You can see again a couple more areas that have moved to that green category on our significant fire potential map. And then finally on Sunday, weather models are predicting some drier air making its way back into the Great Basin. In the Saturday and Sunday time period, as far as precipitation accumulation, you can see that things are a bit drier moving into the weekend. And then again, looking at that 7-day total, again, moving into wetter period with that monsoonal moisture making its way into the area, you can see a real change here with quite a bit of precipitation on our 7-day total map, where over the past few weeks, this 7-day total map has been pretty much blank. So in the 8 to 14 day period, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for above normal temperatures across almost the entire Great Basin, with above normal precipitation across the southern part of the area and below normal precipitation further north. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thank you.